I, I never was sure if I'd ever be happy. Um, if I'd ever give life a chance to love me, I've always wanted to love life. And uh, after years of battling myself, battling my body, battling my mind, um, just battling oftentimes a world that I didn't see, just boxing my past, and even shadow boxing my future, shadow boxing my future, shadow boxing my past, and dodging my present. um, that's what I spent a lot of time doing most of my life. And yeah, I wanted to just share with you today because I had an overwhelming sense of happiness, of fulfillment, of of uh, of wow, you're here. I'm 35 years old, and I think that a lot of adults who experience childhood sexual abuse, but I also think that sometimes adults uh, can be like, I don't know if I'm gonna live past a certain age. Um, I really wasn't sure after a certain time, and what I can say is that even in the moments that I wasn't sure, I definitely pulled from this this hope or this knowing that it'll be worth it at some point. It has to be, right? It has to be. Um, and in the last year in particular, um, I healed my heart in a way that I didn't know I needed to. Um, you spend a lot of time because of the sexual abuse and other traumas, of course. But in particular, when you're a child and you experience these things over and over again, and then the high rates of incidents of revictimization in adulthood are especially high for us. um, you really do think you're unlovable. You really do think that um, people really just want you for sex and just for your body. And I will always forget. I will always remember um, the first guy, like my first healthy connection after I was engaged for zero point 0.5 seconds um, to someone that I hadn't seen in almost 10 years or something like that. Anywho's, and he I think he asked me something to the effect of, um, "Do you know why I like you?" And I said, "For my body." And he laughed. So funny. And he's like, "No, like everyone has a body. Like, what do you mean?" And I couldn't compute that. Um, and despite having had some and connected with some really amazing men, I'll say one thing that I have been blessed to meet some amazing men and spend intimate time with amazing men. Um, I I never was really sure if I was lovable, and I was never really sure if they knew me or loved me. And then every so often, it was like maybe twice that and even in the moments, I wouldn't even say twice, but there were a couple of moments with three men in particular after that initial moment with that guy when I was about 24, give or take. I knew that these people, these men, saw me. And I still couldn't understand. And it wasn't really until last year that when I stopped smoking weed and I really gave myself a chance. And it's not that I haven't been, I have. And I've been weaning myself off the weed for a really, I haven't liked smoking weed for years now. I've even looking back at some of my writing, I'm like, I hate smoking weed. I'm like, I don't even know why I do this shit. Fuck this shit. I'm just mad that I want to smoke weed. And finally, se me quitó la bellaquería. I left, I stopped the bullshit. AKA, loose translation, stop my bullshit. And because I knew a sober life is really what I was meant to live and experience, especially with the kind of work that I do, with being an artist and an essayist and loving life. And that was the thing, right? That I've always wanted to love other people, but I never allowed other people to really love me. I never really allowed other people to really get close to me, who I am, because you spend so much time believing, one, that you're not worth it, and two, suppressing so many things, self-medicating, self-harming, just being so self-indulgent in your destruction and your loathing. And then finally, you realize one day, give or take, after you've been trying to reach this baseline, like, oh, is that who all of those beautiful people see? Is this who people see? Is this who I've always been? Sometimes your eyes can't be trusted. I had such I just had such a distorted image of myself that my eyes couldn't be trusted. The thoughts of myself couldn't be trusted. The thoughts about myself, I couldn't trust the thoughts about myself when it came to my goodness and my worthiness and being lovable and being kind of cool, and being someone like, oh yeah, like I am worth loving. Like I'm kind of cool. I have hobbies. I like things. I like to do things. And something about today, something about the last couple of months where Um, I've been making certain investments in my business, in my wealth building, in the coaches that I have, um, the behaviors that I've taken of allowing myself to be seen, of allowing life to love me back. Because that's the thing, we learn how to give, love, 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 because we think that that's the way that people stay, that we're selfish in allowing them to give to us. And I think that what for a long time, while I was destroying my life, because I wanted this moment so bad, that I didn't have the capacity, or just the practice of receiving. And I'm just so grateful for the way life is loving me. And being in this position that I never thought I would be. I never thought that I'd recognize life in this way, or I'd recognize myself in this way. Even though it was my desire, I wasn't sure if I'd live to tell it. I wasn't sure if I deserved it just because. If anything, I felt I deserved it because I did this work. But not just because. And now it's just because. And I feel like because I am living to tell of what it feels like to be on this side of death in so many ways, the death of oneself in so many ways, because so many of us, adults, survivors of childhood sexual abuse, don't make it at the hands of ourselves, in the very literal way of suicide, or of being stuck in substance use, in the hands of others, and being in abusive relationships, in the hands of our own thoughts, of being just self-destructive of our own lives. I want to share what I feel like is like a win. A win that doesn't come with any, there's no strings attached. Um, this is such a possible life to live. And I wish this for everyone uh, who feels like their life was stolen, or their voice was stolen, that their body was stolen, that, you know, that anything was taken from them, because it really wasn't. And even with the scraps that you feel that are left of you, you still have everything that you need. We still have everything that we need to make a life worth living. And a life worth loving, and always know that life is waiting for you to open your arms to it, because it's always loving you back. So I love you. God bless you.